This is a Nerf Retaliator, R-Spec, 14 kilograms. It does not have the mid-prime lock. Now, I wanted to show people that you shouldn't have to worry about mid-prime lock. The reason isn't because in real firearms, you don't either. Because this is a 45 caliber pistol. Real deal. It saw action in the Korean War. It's a beautiful piece. It's wonderful. Now, everybody always worries without the mid-prime lock that you cannot fight effectively because you might jam it. So we're going to load the Retaliator in 14K, and we're going to load it with a magazine, as so. Bear in mind it's got a little finger in there because it's got the Stage 2 kit, and as we all know, that's not perfect. Okay. Well, here we are. This gun is modified so that the trigger catch on here is beveled down, and that the mid-prime lock, if it is pulled back, will actually decock the gun as so, making it a safe weapon. So let's cock this back, bring it to full action again. Let's load around in here. How do you make sure in battle that you do not have a blaster in prime? Well, first off, your first indication on a Retaliator, which is the reason I take the cap off, is that you have the plunger rod sticking out here. This one is made of brass. Now, why did I put brass on here? Two reasons. One, if it's shooting unstable or wild, I put this on here because it has more unsprung weight. Two, it keeps the plunger rod from locking up on the trigger. And for three, you can easily see that it's brass, just like you can in a real firearm. Now, with this, here it is. But what if I can't see this? Well, if I go back, as so, I lock it back, and if I look back, I see orange way down there. See? And if there's an orange, there it is. It's definitely going to fire. Now, this principle comes from 45 automatic. What we're using is A-zoom trainers. We're using 7 of these in a 7-round mag. They are inert trainer rounds that are made to take the impact of the firing pin so we do not break the firing pin. So we're going to load the 45 automatic safely, and we are going to make sure that we have an unloaded weapon. As you can see, we have no round in the chamber, we have no round in the magazine. We lock it that way, we see it, nothing, okay? We got an empty chamber. Now, just like you do not want to double prime a Retaliator, you do not want to double prime a 45 Retaliator. So with the hammer forward, we're going to chamber around. There it is. Now, we put the thumb safety on, the gun is cock-locked and ready to fire. Now, what would happen, for example? We don't have a mid-prime lock on this. Say, look at this, look at this. Ah, it locks back. Look at that, it pulls back, even with a round in the chamber. This is why I do not like the mid-prime lock on a Nerf Retaliator. It does not simulate firearms properly. It locks it up. It does not give the user the right to decock the blaster if he wants to go back with his friends and buddies and chat, so he has to fire the blaster. It also makes it so if you're using large yield springs, it locks up in the middle of battle. You don't want that, especially if you're going 8K or 10K or 12K or even worse, 14K. It does not allow the user to decock the blaster. It does not allow him to use it safely. I have broken 2 bolt sleds, keeping the mid-prime lock in. So if I do this right now, if I try to cock this back again, right, what's going to happen? Okay? Look at that. Look at that. I just jammed it. I just jammed the 45. I did an ejector jam on it by trying to load it again. Well, the same thing happens in a Retaliator if you try the same thing. So we are going to clear the jam by going like so, locking up the slide release, taking out the magazine. Now normally we would throw a fresh magazine in there, and there we go. We got a 45, ready to go. Now that's how you unjam a 45. What do you do in a Retaliator? What happens if I take a Retaliator without mid-prime lock, and I do one of these? Uh-oh. Better get Mako. Now doesn't that look similar? Look at where the slide is. It's exactly, it's a ½ inch away from the front, just like what the 45 did. It did the exact same thing. What do we do now? We lock it back, we drop the mag, we pull it forward, we throw the mag back. Actually, you know, you don't want to just throw the mag in there. You want to take out the first round, which it actually popped out. Look how smushed that is, because we did a double feed jam. Okay, I want to take your first round out because probably the round is mangled. We want to go like so. There it is. See? So you may notice that in Nerf guns, the same principles apply to those correctly that do real pistols. As a matter of fact, let's unload this gun properly. Let's lose the magazine. Let's unload the round. Let's bring it to chamber. Let's make sure we have an unchambered weapon. You can see the light shining through the chamber back here. It is unloaded. It's ready to go. Hammer forward. There it is. And we're going to take the magazine now, and we are going to unload all rounds out of our magazine. With an empty magazine, we're going to load the magazine back up, and we're going to check the chamber again just to make sure. Voila. Hammer back forward with the thumb safety back, so it goes fully back. Now make sure you do not do one of these here. Leave it in half cock like that with a real 45. Never ever. You want to make sure that hammer's forward so you do not stress the components in the frame. Well, until then, this is Chris Cartaya, former semi-pro national match shooter. And believe it or not, I love Nerf guns better. Take care.